Check this out, I've been testing the new Dyson OnTrac. Yes, Dyson has new headphones, and this wasn't necessarily on my bingo card for this year, but I gotta admit, there's a lot of intrigue around a vacuum company taking audio seriously. Though, are they serious enough to justify spending $499? Okay, so I didn't actually mean it when I say Dyson is just a vacuum company. They make really stunning hairstyling tools, air purifiers, etc. But it was kind of easy to write off their audio category considering the Dyson Zone air purifying headphones that launched last year were just absolutely baffling to me. I did have that really cool moment with them on social media when New York was experiencing that apocalyptic wildfire pollution, but otherwise the Dyson Zone were chunky, expensive, and the battery life sucked. So now that Dyson has a more traditional pair of noise-canceling headphones, the OnTrac, I have a theory that Dyson has been working on these for a long time, and just given the pandemic, they pivoted to the Zone to try and cater to health concerns. Regardless of if my hunch was right, I was really excited to start testing these, and I have found a lot of things I like, but also some things that might make it hard to justify the OnTrac compared to the large expanse of premium headphones that are out right now. Right out of the gate, I truly think the Dyson OnTrac are worth buying because they have a customizable design. Let me show you what I mean. All right. The outer caps and ear cushions are removable and replaceable with a collection of different colors and finishes Dyson is selling alongside the OnTrac. Dyson was kind enough to send me a couple to try, though when I met with them a few weeks ago, I got to try all these super cool color combos. I'll be sure to put some pics of those up on the screen. Some people might think that this is a little gimmicky, but I haven't seen this feature before in headphones, and who doesn't love the option to personalize something that they're going to be wearing out in public probably very often? Plus, as a little Easter egg, inside here you get a map of the interior hardware. It's like a blueprint almost, and I believe you'll find this on some other Dyson products. I don't know. As a tech nerd, I think this is really cool. I'll also quickly mention that I am obsessed with this case. It's protective, but it lies completely flat. All I'll say is that this is what the AirPods Max Smart case should have been. Another reason to buy the Dyson OnTrac from a tech and engineering perspective is that they put batteries in the headband to power up to 55 hours of listening on a full charge. Let me repeat that, batteries in the headband. From what I understand, this wasn't easy to pull off, especially not in a way that doesn't make these parts here pressing down on your head feel too heavy. So whereas a lot of headphones have the adjustable arms right above the cup here, you adjust the headband length up here, and you can feel it. This top pad is much cushier than these side ones where the batteries are. More importantly, this results in a really long-lasting battery. It has like over 20 hours of playback over top headphones like the Sony WH-1000XM5, AirPods Max, the new Sonos Ace. I literally haven't had to charge these in the past week, even with listening like 5 to 6 hours during the workday. And because I know people are going to ask, I also haven't had any issues with them feeling warm on my head and heating up even with the batteries right here. Finally, in terms of reasons to buy, I have to applaud the active noise cancellation performance. The Dyson OnTrac uses 8 microphones to sample external sounds 384,000 times a second. This, from my experience, really effectively counters ambient noises. What? There's been a lot of really annoying construction happening around my apartment recently, and I literally couldn't hear any of it while using these. That meant I could really focus in on my music and really appreciate the deep bass. Don't get me wrong, the layering as a whole is very strong, but there's something especially sophisticated about the bass. I swear I can feel it like in my chest. If anything, I'd say vocals aren't as pronounced as I typically like, but overall, I'm impressed with the sound and sound canceling performance. Now for what I'm not so impressed with, starting with the controls. First complaint, this little joystick that you use to control basically everything with playback. It's really small, and even with my smallish fingers, I struggled with it. I keep accidentally pausing my music when I mean to just change the volume. Maybe that's a me problem, not sure, but that's not it. To switch between A and C and pass-through, you need to double tap the side of the cup. When I use just one finger like this, it doesn't really work. I literally have to hit the side of my head with my whole hand, and then you hear this little swoosh sounds that tell you've switched modes. A little aggressive for my liking. I feel like I look kind of stupid. I will say the saving grace is that the auto pause and auto play head detect feature works really well, though the rest, not so great. I also don't love how the OnTrac used the Bluetooth 5.0 codec. I know this might be like a little too technical and nitpicky, but we just did an episode of Tech Takedown sort of recently where I talked about the benefits of newer Bluetooth codecs like Bluetooth 5.3 or 5.4. With these, I feel like the range of where I can separate my phone or playback source is really short. Even within the walls of my own apartment, I would lose a stable connection. You'll find the newer codecs in pretty much all premium earbuds and headphones these days, offering more reliable communication. So I'm honestly just a little confused that for the high price, that there's a central spec that's aging out. That brings me to price being a big reason to skip the Dyson OnTrac. At $499, I think it's kind of hard to justify getting these over the top Sony or Bose or even like Sennheiser noise-canceling headphones. I know AirPods Max are technically more expensive, but they've been out for 3 years, so they're almost always on sale for at least $100 off. Even if Dyson would have just put these at $450, I probably wouldn't consider price as much of a factor. I just suspect it'll work to their disadvantage. But then again, Dyson products are expensive, and fans of the brand have a good sense of the quality they're getting for the cost. Oh, but I should mention all those cool swappable ear cups I talked about earlier are an additional $49 a set. Buy or skip? This is a tough one for me. Personally, I couldn't imagine a scenario where I go out and spend $500 on the Dyson OnTrac headphones. There are options with more smart features, better specs, at a lower price. That said, the overall design, putting the batteries here in the headband, the customization, the case, all show that a lot of care went into making this product. I think people who are design-minded and can appreciate those types of things will really like the OnTrac. And it is hard to beat the convenience of 55 hours of battery life. I'm curious to see whether you agree with me though. Let me know in the comments. Do you personally focus more on aesthetics or the specs when shopping? Speaking of specs, my Dyson OnTrac spec check is now live on our socials, so be sure to check that out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.